Lagos was alive, pulsing with sound and scent. From dawn till dusk, its air carried the fragrance of roasted corn, fried plantain, hot petrol, and something invisible, something magnetic. But hidden beneath that daily chaos was a smaller scent, softer yet stronger, one that could change the way people felt. It came from a little perfume stand on the corner of a busy street in Yaba, run by a young woman whose beauty drew attention almost as much as her fragrances did. Her name was Vanessa Cole, 24, brown-skinned and radiant in a beautiful Ankara dress. People said she could sell any perfume to anyone. Her voice had the calm rhythm of confidence, her eyes glimmered like she knew something the rest of Lagos didn't. Every morning she set up her stand outside the electronics plaza. The perfumes lined the wooden table like soldiers, imported brands, local oils, and one unnamed bottle, small, dark glass, no label. It wasn't for sale. It was the one she wore herself. Vanessa had found it 6 months ago, after her grandmother's funeral in Abeokuta. Among the old woman's things was a box carved with symbols and sealed with red wax. Inside lay the perfume, wrapped in faded velvet, its scent both strange and irresistible. When she first opened it, her body had tingled, her vision briefly blurred, and since then, business had never been the same. Everyone who passed by her stall seemed drawn to her. Men stopped mid-conversation. Women asked what fragrance she wore. Even police officers who came for random checks ended up buying bottles they didn't need. Word spread quickly. There's a girl in Yaba whose perfume can make you remember your first love. Vanessa didn't fully believe the rumors. She just knew the bottle had power. A drop on her skin made her feel alive, confident, magnetic. It was her secret weapon in a city where survival demanded sparkle. But power, she was learning, never came free. It started one evening when a woman named Aisha, a regular customer, came to buy her usual vanilla musk. As Vanessa sprayed a test strip, Aisha froze, eyes glazing. "Vanessa, what's that scent on you today?" Vanessa smiled, a little flattered. "Just something special I wear myself." Aisha leaned closer. "It smells like rain before thunder." She bought nothing that day. Instead, she stood staring, whispering, "It reminds me of someone I lost." Her voice trembled, and tears welled up. After she left, Vanessa shook her head. "Maybe it's just nostalgia," she told herself. But the next day, 2 more people reacted the same way. One smiled dreamily, the other wept uncontrollably. Soon, people began coming not just for her perfumes but for her. Some came to talk, others just to stand near her table. One man returned daily, claiming her scent healed his anxiety. Another brought flowers, insisting he'd dreamt of her perfume guiding him through darkness. By the 2nd month, Vanessa's stand had become a phenomenon. Influencers came to film her. The Lagos Times did a short feature titled "The Girl with the Magic Perfume." She should have been thrilled. But the more popular she became, the more uneasy she felt. The perfume bottle on her shelf seemed to glow faintly in the dark. And sometimes, when she closed her eyes, she heard a whisper in her ear, soft, seductive, unfamiliar. "Keep selling. Let them breathe you in." The first time she heard it, she dropped the bottle in fright. But it didn't break. The whisper laughed. A few nights later, Vanessa dreamed of her grandmother. The old woman sat under a baobab tree, braiding smoke into the air. "Grandma?" Vanessa called. Her grandmother smiled, eyes glowing gold. "You opened it, didn't you? The perfume?" "Aye, you've woken the scent of memory. It belongs to our line. You must learn control before it controls you." Vanessa tried to ask what she meant, but thunder cracked across the dream, and she woke gasping. The bottle sat on her dresser, open, a faint mist curling from its mouth. From that night on, her world tilted. The more perfume she wore, the stranger people behaved. A man fainted after smelling her wrist. A baby stopped crying the moment she entered a room. Even animals followed her, cats, dogs. A stray goat once lingered by her stall all day. She began to wear less of it, then stopped entirely. Still, the scent clung to her skin as though from inside out. One hot afternoon, while packing up her stand, a tall woman in a green geal approached. Her eyes were sharp, knowing. "You have your grandmother's gift," the woman said. Vanessa froze. "Do I know you?" The woman smiled faintly. "Not yet. But your grandmother and I once served the same spirit. That perfume you wear, it's no ordinary oil. It's a bridge between worlds." Vanessa laughed nervously. "You mean like witchcraft?" "Call it what you like," the woman replied. "But every fragrance has a soul. And the one you've awakened has been waiting a long time." She reached into her wrapper and dropped a small carved charm on the table. "When the scent starts to whisper, burn this. It will keep you safe if safety is still possible." Before Vanessa could respond, the woman disappeared into the crowd. That night, Lagos had one of its wildest rainstorms in months. Thunder rattled the windows, lightning lit the sky violet. Vanessa lay awake, clutching the charm. The bottle glowed brighter than ever. She heard the whisper again, clear this time, a man's voice, smooth as smoke. "You wear me well, Vanessa. But why hide such beauty from the world?" She sat up, trembling. "Who are you?" "I am what your grandmother feared and adored, the essence of desire itself. They called me Erebus." "Spirit." She choked out. "No spirit. Fragrance. I am what people crave when they breathe in beauty. I give them what they long for. Through you." She shook her head. "I don't want this." "Then why did you open the bottle?" Silence. Her heart pounded. The rain hammered harder. "Leave me alone," she whispered. "You can't destroy scent. My darling. You can only share it." The bottle pulsed once, a heartbeat of light. Then darkness swallowed the room. Vanessa screamed. The next morning, Vanessa woke to silence. No thunder, no whisper, just the hum of the ceiling fan and the faint scent of something sweet lingering in her room. Her eyes darted to the dresser. The perfume bottle stood there, perfectly still. But a faint ring of moisture surrounded its base, as though it had been weeping during the night. She rubbed her temples. "It's just stress," she muttered. "Just Lagos stress." But when she went outside, something felt off. The neighbors who usually greeted her with smiles were quiet, distant. The street vendors barely looked at her. Even the air felt thick, almost watching her. Vanessa shrugged it off and headed to her stand. Yet the moment she reached it, a crowd was already waiting. "Vanessa, I beg. The one you wore last week, give me that same one." A young man begged. Another woman clutched her wrist. "You made me dream of my late husband. Please, I need more." Vanessa blinked. I don't even remember what I wore that day." They grew restless, desperate, voices rising. She felt dizzy, surrounded by pleading faces and reaching hands. Then suddenly, someone screamed. The man at the front collapsed. Foam gathered at his lips. The scent in the air turned sharp and metallic. People scattered, shouting her name, some in fear, others in awe. "Vanessa, what did you do to him?" She knelt beside the man, shaking. His eyes were open, unfocused. For a moment she thought he was dead until he whispered one word, "Erebus." Her blood froze. That night, she didn't sleep. She lit candles, clutched the charm the mysterious woman gave her, and stared at the bottle. "Why me?" she asked the empty room. The whisper came again, gentle this time, almost affectionate. "Because you are the vessel. The scent lives only through you." She backed away. "You're killing people." "No. I'm freeing them." They breathe me in and remember their deepest desires. Some desires are too heavy to bear. Vanessa pressed her hands to her ears, but the whisper slid through anyway, like smoke seeping under a door. Don't fight me, Vanessa. Together, we can make the world adore you. Tears spilled down her face. I don't want them to adore me. I just want peace. Peace smells nothing like power. The bottle shimmered. And for the first time, she saw a reflection in the glass, not hers, but a man's face. Smooth skin, golden eyes, lips curved in an eternal smile. She screamed, knocking the bottle off the dresser. But it didn't shatter. Instead, a faint mist rose from it and drifted toward her like a lover's breath. Vanessa fainted. When she woke the next morning, her room smelled intoxicatingly divine. Her mirror showed a version of herself too radiant, too perfect, like the scent had reshaped her from the inside. She tried to ignore it. She tried to live normally. But every customer who came near her now seemed bewitched. They left dazed, whispering her name like a prayer, and each night, Erebus grew stronger. You see how they crave you, my vessel? Lagos will kneel before your beauty. Let me in completely, and you will never fear again. Vanessa clutched the charm, whispering a prayer her grandmother once taught her. The air around her shimmered faintly, resisting the whisper just barely. Then one night, someone knocked on her door. It was the same woman with the green jewel. You're fading, the woman said softly. Your scent's no longer yours, it's his. Then how do I stop him? Vanessa pleaded. The woman handed her a folded letter, sealed in red wax. Your grandmother left this for you. Read it before the moon dies. Inside the letter, her grandmother's handwriting danced in soft curls. My child, if you are reading this, the spirit of scent has found you. Our family once used it to heal hearts and guide souls. But desire turned us greedy, and the spirit grew dark. You cannot destroy him, only contain him. Burn sandalwood mixed with tears of salt, and speak his true name. Then, seal the bottle under still earth. Vanessa's heart raced. She had no idea what tears of salt meant, but sandalwood she could find. She ran to her stand the next day, determined to finish this. But when she arrived, her table was gone. The perfumes, the bottles, the cloth, everything had vanished. And on the ground where her stand once stood was a single object, the bottle, gleaming under the noon sun. The street was unnervingly still. Lagos never slept. Yet at that moment, everything felt muted, like the city itself was holding its breath. Vanessa stared at the perfume bottle glinting under the sun. It looked innocent, ordinary, but she knew better. She could feel its pulse beneath the glass, a faint vibration that matched the rhythm of her heartbeat. She reached for it cautiously, her fingers trembling. The moment her skin touched the bottle, a searing heat flashed through her palm. She yelped and dropped it, clutching her hand. The glass didn't crack. Instead, the liquid inside shimmered like molten gold. You can't hide from me, Vanessa. The voice wasn't in her head anymore. It was around her, in the rustling leaves, in the whispers of the wind, in the hiss of a passing bus. Erebus had escaped the bottle. She stumbled backward, her breath shallow. Leave me alone, she cried. A shadow formed beside her, tall and graceful, with eyes like burning amber. Erebus stepped out of the air itself, smiling with cruel tenderness. I made you beautiful, adored, desired. And this is how you repay me. Vanessa backed away until her spine hit the wall of a kiosk. You cursed me. You killed that man. He desired too deeply. I only gave him what he asked for. Erebus's tone was silky, almost mocking. Tell me, Vanessa, have you ever thought of what you desire? Her lips parted, but no words came. I can give you everything, Erebus whispered, circling her. Fame. Wealth. Power. The whole of Lagos would worship the ground you walk on. They already do. Vanessa felt the scent rising from her skin again, sweet, magnetic, dangerous. People were beginning to gather, staring at her like she was a goddess. Some knelt, some cried, some simply stared with hollow eyes full of yearning. "No," she said hoarsely. "I don't want this." Erebus leaned close, his voice like velvet and poison. "Then what do you want?" She closed her eyes. Freedom. The air cracked like thunder. The scent around her shifted from sweet jasmine to something acrid and burning. The crowd gasped as the perfume bottles that had reappeared on nearby stalls began to burst one by one, releasing plumes of golden smoke. Erebus's smile faltered. "You shouldn't have said that." Suddenly, Vanessa felt a surge of energy. The charm around her neck began to glow faintly, humming like it was alive. She clutched it, remembering her grandmother's letter, burned sandalwood mixed with tears of salt. Her mind raced. Tears of salt, her own tears. She needed to cry. She turned and ran, Erebus's laughter chasing her through the streets. Vanessa didn't stop until she reached her grandmother's old house in Abiacuta, a place she hadn't visited since childhood. The little mud house stood under a giant tree, half covered in vines. Inside, dust coated the furniture, but everything else felt preserved, as if her grandmother had just stepped out for a moment. Vanessa found an old clay bowl, some dried herbs, and a bundle of sandalwood. She set them on the floor and lit a match. Smoke curled up, soft and fragrant. It filled the room with warmth. Vanessa's eyes stung. She whispered through her tears, "You said sandalwood and tears of salt. Please, Grandma, let this work." The scent of burning wood merged with the faint golden aroma that haunted her. Erebus appeared again, his form flickering like a mirage. "You can't cage a god, Vanessa." She ignored him, chanting softly the words from her grandmother's letter. The bottle, still glowing, hovered in the air before her. "Stop." Erebus's voice cracked. "You don't understand what you're doing." "I understand enough," she said, her tears falling into the fire. The flame roared, turning blue. Erebus screamed, a sound that shook the walls. The perfume bottle shattered, scattering shards of gold that vanished into mist. The scent faded, replaced by the smell of burnt wood and salt. Then, silence. Vanessa collapsed to the floor, exhausted. Her hands trembled, her face wet with tears. The charm on her neck cooled, its glow fading to nothing. Outside, the world exhaled. When she finally woke hours later, dawn light spilled through the cracked windows. The air was clear, fresh for the first time in weeks. Birds were chirping again. Vanessa sat up slowly. The bottle was gone, and so was Erebus, or so she thought. As she stepped outside, she noticed a faint scent clinging to her skin, subtle, almost human. It was her perfume, but gentler, alive, and whispering, until the next breath. She shivered. The sun rose lazily over Abiacuta, bathing the red earth in gold. For the first time in weeks, Vanessa felt a fragile kind of peace. She sat outside her grandmother's old house, sipping Gary with groundnut, watching the sleepy town come alive. The villagers greeted her warmly, unaware of the storm that had raged around her. No one spoke of Erebus. No one mentioned the perfume. It was as if the entire ordeal had been a fever dream. But Vanessa knew better. Sometimes, when the wind shifted just right, she caught a faint whiff of that golden scent. It lingered in the corners of her mind, not loud or sinister, but patient. Waiting. She tried to bury herself in normal life again. She helped her aunt in the small herb garden, began selling soaps and essential oils instead of perfumes, and even attended the local church with her cousins. For a while, everything felt almost normal, until one evening, she was packing up her things after the weekly market when a young man approached her stall. His shirt was crisp, his shoes polished, and he spoke with the easy charm of a Lagosian who'd seen too much of the world. "Excuse me," he said with a smile. "You're Vanessa, right?" The perfume lady from Yaba. Her stomach tightened. You must be mistaken. He chuckled softly. No, I'm not. You see, I used to buy from you before everything went strange. Vanessa froze. Who are you? The man extended a hand. Tommy. I'm a journalist now. Writing a feature about unusual urban myths, and you, Vanessa, are one of them. I don't do that anymore, she said quickly, turning away. But Tommy persisted. People in Lagos still talk about you, you know. The mysterious seller whose perfumes could make people see things, remember lost lovers, even go mad. Some say you died. Others say you ran away. Vanessa's pulse quickened. You should stop believing gossip. He tilted his head, studying her. Funny. Because I caught that scent the moment I walked up. It's faint, but it's there. She glanced down at her hands. Even after everything, the scent still lived in her skin. She'd scrubbed and prayed, but it never truly faded. Tommy smiled slightly. You can trust me, Vanessa. I'm not here to hurt you. I just want the truth. She hesitated. The truth sounded dangerous, but maybe, if she told it, it would finally lose its hold. So, she agreed to meet him the next day by the old river at dawn. The morning air was cool, and mist curled over the water. Vanessa arrived first, her hair tied back, her clothes simple. She held the charm around her neck, as she always did, though its glow had long vanished. Tommy arrived minutes later, notebook in hand. He sat on a rock beside her. I read about Erebus, he said quietly. In old Yoruba myths, they call him Olorin Ibenuje, the spirit of sorrowful fragrance. Supposedly, he feeds on human longing. Vanessa's throat tightened. That's him. He turned to her, his gaze soft. You fought him? I tried. I thought I ended it. But sometimes, when I dream, I smell him again. The river rippled. A faint breeze carried the scent of something sweet, sandalwood and tears. Tommy frowned. Do you smell that? Vanessa stiffened. Don't say anything. Just. Don't breathe too deep. But it was too late. Tommy inhaled, slowly, his eyes glazing over. No, she whispered. Not again. He blinked, dazed, a smile curving his lips. It's beautiful. He murmured. It smells like home. Vanessa's heart sank. Erebus wasn't gone. He was inside her still, hiding in her breath, her pulse, her soul. You can't cage a god, the voice whispered again, faint but unmistakable. She clutched her head, shaking. Get out of me. The air shimmered. The river seemed to darken. For a fleeting second, she saw Erebus's reflection in the water, golden eyes watching, smiling. Vanessa. Tommy's voice cut through her panic. He gripped her shoulders. What's happening? She gasped for breath. He's not gone. He's in me. Every scent I wear, every breath I take. Tommy looked both terrified and fascinated. Then we'll find a way. We'll stop him properly this time. Vanessa stared at him. You don't understand. He is sent. He's in everything that breathes. Tommy's expression hardened. Then we'll start with you. Tell me what we need. Vanessa thought of her grandmother's words again. You cannot destroy him, only contain him. But maybe she could try something different. Something final. I'll need to return to Lagos, she said. Where it all began. That night, she packed her things, her heart heavy but determined. Tommy insisted on coming along. The journey back to Lagos was quiet. The city lights greeted them like ghosts, flickering. Alive, full of whispers. As their bus pulled into Yaba, Vanessa inhaled deeply. The air smelled of dust, rain, and faint perfume, home. But beneath it all, something darker stirred, a reminder that the story wasn't finished. "Welcome back, my vessel," Erebus whispered. The noise, the chaos, the colors, the traffic, it all felt louder, heavier, more alive than she remembered. Lagos had always been a living thing, breathing and restless, but now she could sense its pulse under her feet. She and Tommy found a small lodge in Sarulia. The night was humid, with the faint sound of gospel music drifting through the air. Tommy sat by the window, flipping through his notes. "So what's the plan?" he asked. Vanessa's gaze stayed on the streetlights flickering outside. The scent came from a place, an origin. "I need to find it. My grandmother once said the first perfume was made where the earth wept." Tommy raised a brow. "Meaning?" She stood slowly. "Meaning somewhere near salt water and memory. The old Makako Bridge, maybe where the tides meet the land." He nodded, then smiled faintly. "You know, for someone who's been through hell, you sound almost calm." "I've stopped running," she said softly. "That's a kind of peace." They left for Makako before dawn. The air smelled of seaweed, diesel, and fish, yet beneath it, Vanessa could detect that faint sweetness again, the one that haunted her dreams. As they walked across the creaking wooden planks of the bridge, the mist thickened. Tommy reached for her hand. "Are you sure about this?" She nodded. "I have to end it here." The water below rippled unnaturally, as though something ancient stirred beneath. The scent grew stronger, honey and smoke, jasmine and sorrow. Then a voice floated from the fog. "You came back to me." Vanessa froze. Erebus materialized ahead, shimmering in the mist, golden eyes, flawless skin, the same infuriatingly calm smile. He was more solid this time. Less ghost and more God. Tommy stepped forward protectively. "Stay back," he warned. Erebus chuckled. "A mortal dares to guard a vessel of my choosing? How amusing." Vanessa took a deep breath. "You don't belong here anymore, Erebus. It's over." "Over?" He tilted his head. "You think shattering a bottle ends a spirit? My scent lives in every breath you take, in every heart that ever longed for more. I am Lagos now." The air shimmered, faint golden mist rising from the water. Tommy coughed, covering his face. "Vanessa, we have to move." She didn't move. Instead, she untied the charm from her neck. It glowed again, faintly, but alive. "You would destroy yourself to stop me?" Erebus asked. Almost tenderly. "You and I are one, Vanessa. There is no you without me." She looked him in the eyes. "Then we'll both end together." Erebus's smile faltered. "No." Vanessa dropped the charm into the water. Instantly, the river erupted in light gold and white, like the sun exploding beneath the surface. The bridge trembled. Waves surged, spraying them both. Erebus screamed, his form twisting, unraveling like smoke. "You can't cage a god," he roared. Vanessa fell to her knees, clutching her chest. Her lungs burned. The scent flooded from her pores, thick and dazzling. Tommy tried to reach her, shouting her name, but the air between them shimmered, a wall of perfume, hot and blinding. "Go," she shouted. "Go before it reaches you." He didn't listen. He ran through the haze, grabbed her shoulders, and pulled her close. "We finish this together." Tears streamed down her cheeks. "Then remember me. If I forget myself." The charm's light spread up her arms, her skin glowing with symbols that pulsed in rhythm with her heartbeat. Erebus's voice echoed around them, fading, furious, desperate, and then gone. The golden mist dissolved into the morning air, leaving only the smell of saltwater and burnt sandalwood. When Vanessa woke, she was lying by the water's edge. Her clothes were soaked, her pulse faint. Tommy knelt beside her, coughing, but alive. He touched her face gently. "It's over," he whispered. She smiled weakly. "No scent." He sniffed the air. "Only rain." Vanessa looked up at the sky, watching the dawn spread across Lagos. The city looked ordinary again, imperfect, noisy, real. She exhaled deeply. For the first time, her breath carried no fragrance at all. Days later, she returned to Yaba, sold the last of her plain oils, and closed her store for good. The perfume bottles were gone, replaced with clay jars and soaps. She wore no scent now, yet people still said she smelled of something warm, something human. Tommy kept in touch, occasionally visiting, always curious about what had truly happened that day on the bridge. She never answered directly. Some things were better left in the wind. Yet sometimes, when the harmattan blew across the streets of Lagos, the faintest trace of golden perfume drifted through the air, a whisper of beauty, a warning of desire, and a reminder that some gods never really die. Weeks passed. The city returned to its rhythm, the endless honking, the chatter of street vendors, the scent of roasted corn and wet earth after the rain. Lagos had moved on, as it always. Vanessa hadn't. She was living quietly now in Lekki Phase 2, in a small studio apartment that overlooked the lagoon. She had cut her hair short, dyed it a deep brown, and started a small skincare brand using natural oils and herbs. No perfumes, no chemicals, no magic. She called her new line Bare Soul Organics. Business was slow but peaceful, and peace was all she wanted. Every morning she'd light a candle, open her window to the sea breeze, and whisper, "Thank you, Grandma." But sometimes, when she mixed oils or stirred honey and shea butter, she'd catch a faint aroma that didn't belong, jasmine and smoke, wrapped in memory. It always faded quickly, like someone breathing against her neck. She tried not to think about it. One Saturday, she set up a small booth at a local craft fair on Freedom Way. Young creatives filled the place, fashion designers, candle makers, painters. The air buzzed with laughter and the sound of Afrobeats. Vanessa felt at ease among them. She smiled when people complimented her products and even laughed when someone called her the chillest babe in the whole market. Everything was normal. Until a customer approached her booth and stopped dead. He was tall, soft-spoken, with kind eyes behind round glasses. He picked up a jar of her body butter and opened it slowly, his brows furrowed. "This scent." Vanessa stiffened. "It reminds me of something." He continued, inhaling again. "I can't place it, but it feels old. Familiar." Vanessa forced a smile. "Just a mix of vanilla, almond, and orange oil." He nodded absently, still staring at her. "You ever sell perfumes before?" She hesitated. "A long time ago." The man smiled politely and bought 2 jars. But before leaving, he said something that made her blood run cold. "Funny thing. My mum used to talk about a perfume seller in Yaba, said she smelled like dreams and danger. You look a bit like her." He walked away. Vanessa's hands trembled as she packed her things. Her reflection in a nearby glass window looked different, softer, older, but unmistakably haunted. She whispered to herself, "He's gone. He's gone." But that night, as she prepared for bed, she heard it, faint, melodic, and unmistakable, until the next breath. Her heart stopped. The voice was inside the room. She turned sharply. The candle on her table flickered, though there was no wind. The scent returned, faint at first, then overwhelming. The golden sweetness filled her lungs, her veins, her head. "You can't erase what you are," the whisper said gently. "You are scent. You are memory." Vanessa fell to her knees, clutching her head. "No. You're gone. I ended you." "You ended the vessel," Erebus murmured. "But I live in the air you breathe. In the love you stir. In the longing of every heart that smells your name." Tears streamed down her cheeks. "Then what do you want from me?" Silence. Then, nothing. Only to remind you that beauty is never innocent. And just like that, the scent vanished. The next morning, she woke with swollen eyes and the faintest trace of gold dust on her palms. She washed it off silently and went to her small workshop. The world outside glittered as if nothing had happened. She mixed a new batch of oil, lavender and coconut, soft and simple. But when she poured it into bottles, she noticed something strange. Each bottle shimmered faintly in the sunlight, not gold this time, but pale silver like moonlight trapped in glass. Vanessa sighed, half a smile tugging her lips. "You'll never really leave, will you?" The wind through the window answered her with a scent, faint, fleeting, and bittersweet. Months later, Bare Soul Organics went viral on social media. Influencers called her products otherworldly and emotionally nostalgic. People swore the scent made them feel calmer, braver, loved. Vanessa never explained why. She attended interviews and podcasts but always avoided questions about her past. When someone once asked if she believed in magic, she'd simply smile and say, "I believe in memories that smell too good to forget." At night, she sometimes dreamed of her grandmother standing by the river, holding the broken perfume bottle. The older woman would smile, whisper something Vanessa could never quite hear, and fade away with the dawn. One rainy evening, Vanessa sat by her window, journaling by candlelight. Her phone buzzed, a message from Tommy. "Tommy, still can't get over that scent from the bridge. Miss you, V. You good, Vanessa?" "I'm okay. Just trying to breathe." She stared at the message for a long moment before adding, "Vanessa, do you ever think some stories don't end? They just change fragrance," he replied with a single heart emoji. Vanessa smiled faintly and leaned back. The candle flame danced gently, the air smelled of rain, and somewhere far away, thunder rolled like a slow drum. She closed her eyes. Until the next breath. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Shishi Fairytales, for more interesting stories every week.